Hello. Long time no see. Actually, I'm joking. Right. I've been streaming yesterday. You find the usual stuff I perform always, which is posting on the social media, right? Okay, posted. So, last time we have been exploring some Auditd rules, mainly for the account creation. And actually, I have uploaded the rule that we kind of changed together on the stream. As you can see here, this is the one. This is the logic that we have implemented, that we have provided. Now, and this kind of got me thinking about other potential detections that we could detect, whether we talk about the user account creation, right? Because this rule is looking at every account creation that is going to happen in the Linux environment, which is something that is not really telling you that it is 100% evil. It could be anomaly based on some different contextual data, like the system that it appeared on and stuff like that. However, immediately it doesn't provide you with the information whether it's malicious or not, right? Or let's say of a high priority. Maybe malicious is not a good description here, right? So this is what we have changed. So I was kind of, and regarding the Sigma, you have actually no other stuff that you can kind of detect in here. I mean, the other stuff that were created in terms of the detection rules, especially for the Auditd, right? Nothing else. So there is a potential for another detection. And the other project I always like to check is something I have already provided a stream on, which is the Atomic Red team. This is open source kind of repository of these tests that are kind of being executed as the PowerShell scripts. You can also run it in the Linux environment when you install the PowerShell. I did that on the previous streams some time ago, a long time ago actually. You can kind of find it on my YouTube channel. Actually, let me find it. So I'm pretty sure it shouldn't be that hard to find. You can see here. So I already recorded some stuff about that in the Linux environment, installing PowerShell, and then we were invoking those tests. The tests were being executed, so I will just grab this link, post on the chat, you can find it. And yeah, exactly this one test is kind of interesting to me, as it basically this is going to execute creation. It basically is going to add the account to the root group, create a user, and then add the user to the root group. And it was used within this attack campaign. You kind of can Google that and learn something more in here about this campaign. So you can kind of, and you see the command that is being executed within this PowerShell script. However, what we are really interested here is the first command, which is the actual adding the act of creation, basically. The second line is changing the password depending on the distribution that it detects. So I'm not really that interested in changing the password. I'm really interested in this. I don't mind me, you could kind of detect change of the password for the high privileged users. This could be also valid detection, but for our kind of case, we kind of are interested in the first command, which is basically executing the user_add command. Let's actually check this user_add command within the manual pages. Okay, so let's check for those. Dash lowercase g is group ID, and the group ID 0 is for the root user. Now we look for the uppercase M, so we do not create a home. Lowercase d, I think it's related to making the home directory of the user to following one. In this case we have root, and then S would be to specify the shell for the user. Cool. So that's kind of pretty simple. Let's check the rules that we have for the Auditd. We should have nothing, that's correct. Let's make sure that it is running. Yes, no problems. Let's change directory. Let's become a root. Let's change directory to our Auditd logs. And let's perform this command, and we will add a user of a. Let's kind of follow this theme here and add this butter user. Okay. So we have created a user with the name of butter. It's in the root group. Let's see what we can detect by default from Auditd. User management. This is related to the PAM modules. Let's see everything from Auditd. Okay, so this is the one that created the user, right? With the ID of 1006, we have the butter. But it doesn't provide us with the information if this user was added to the root group, as well as the second one. It doesn't give us these details. Huh. And I think we have nothing more here. So authentication, credential accesses, service stop, doesn't matter. That sucks. Let's see the record types. So everything related to group seems to be for the modification of the group itself. Yeah, but it doesn't give us anything. Well, in the basic Auditd record types, we have no information whether this user was added to root group. I'm pretty sure when you look at the messages and grep for butter, not messages, secure, and we grep for butter, we kind of have the log from the user out daemon. So that's something you can go for too. Yeah, it is kind of pretty easy to detect with this log. In terms of the Auditd, you would need to create a rule then. Let's see the rules by Florian wrote, whether there is something already. I'm pretty sure this is going to kind of detect it as well, because when you kind of create a user, you kind of change the files. In the backend, the files were being changed as well. So this should also detect that. And as well, this monitoring this executable should also detect that. Let's delete this user. Okay, it's fine. We have deleted the user. Let's add this. Okay, sorry, I had to sneeze. So let's add this. Checking for the execution of the binary of user and. And we kinda can go about this one. And I guess also this one. Let's add butter one. Now let's search for first. Okay, so let me first of all make notes about the keys we have got. So let's see what we have in the user modification key. So this is config change as today is 21st, right? So this is us adding the rule. And then we have execution of the binary. Yeah, usual kind of log that is being generated when you create an, watch for the execution of specific file. Syscall execve successful user add. So this is syscall. Provides us with the information what binary was executed. And who executed that. And this is going to provide us path, is providing the paths to the object that were passed to this syscall, and proc title is the command itself, as well as the XSCVE. Well, it's I always read it wrong. It's exec VE, to be honest. But I like exec CVE. It's not a big deal. Okay, so that's something we could kind of go after. So in this case, you kind of would like to go for this, the type of exec CVE. Now let's kind of look at different rules that were supposed to catch this. As you can see, this information is kind of similar. Of course, let's kind of go through it. So this, I'm kind of getting too fast. So the first rule we have added is looking for the executions of this binary, right? That's kind of... The second one is looking for the writes and attribute changes to the etc group file. So now we have set of the events that are related to that. Because when you create a kind of user and you add it to the group, what is going to happen? There will be changes made to this file, right? We can kind of take a look at this file. You should be able to see. Actually, not tail, but head. There is the root. Can I find? Oh, right, those are the groups. For sure, it's in the passwd. Yeah, this is the user. There you have a kind of the group ID, right? Now let's go back to our example. So this is providing us with the information first. Proc title gives you information about what command was executed. Path, of course, this is record type that informs you what paths or files, let's call them files in this case, were passed to this syscall. CWD, current working directory, and syscall informs you what syscall was performed. In this case, was open. So the file was opened, it was successful. Right, and you know that this file was open because it was the only one that was passed in here. You have some information about the process IDs, who performed the action, terminal, sessions, command that was used, and the executable that was used, and the key, right? So let's look at this last one. But still, it kind of doesn't provide you with the... This one is actually less useful than the previous one, because you don't have this exec VE that provides you with the information about the arguments of the command. You have only proc title that kind of shows you what was performed, and only from this event, when you kind of understand it, you can get an idea of what actually was performed. Well, you can kind of also connect some dots, and you see the user add was performed, right? And that this file was open, so you have you can suspect that some user was added, but when you don't have this proc title, you don't know who was added, right? What user was added and to what group it was added. So let's take a look at the last. And I expect the same type of information there. I have some more details in here, to be honest. So first you have also this syscall about opening this file, that it was successful. You have proc title, nothing else, right? It is actually pretty similar to the previous one. Only the file was changed. But this is actually also interesting. Because I think it is related to the actual changes then that were performed. So because this syscall tells you about that the file was open, right? And the syscall rename, I think, relates to the changes. Linux syscall rename. Change the name or location of a file. Why it has appeared, I'm not really sure. However, it seems to be related to changes made to the file. That is pretty interesting. However, this also kind of doesn't give us much except of this proc title event. What else? Kind of nothing is there. Have the syscall of a rename. What command and the executable triggered this syscall? You have current working directory and bunch of the path records that provide you with the details. What files were passed to this syscall? So what paths were passed to this syscall? I think it could be maybe related to some files in the background, like buffer files that are being created whenever you execute. Maybe, I don't know. That is similar when you use Vim, for example. Yeah, but nevertheless, doesn't really matter what those are referring to, because in the end we don't have details in here, any details. The best results we kind of got from the first rule, because the first one provided us with the information that Auditd did not, which is this execve execve record type. Really wondering whether there are some other stuff that we can find. I'm looking for the list of the differences because I'm like kinda, don't know everything. But I'm kinda feeling that this command is basically updating the files, and there is no syscall related explicitly for the account creation. So basically it opens and writes stuff to the files, and that's how you create a user. So it seems that we have only this option to detect this activity. That's a bummer, unfortunately. Well, to be honest, when I kind of think about it, then I kind of prefer this then, right? Of course, you can make an argument, and when basically adversary do not use the user add command to add the user, he is just going to basically add a user to by editing the file. Then it's would be easier to detect, to be honest, because then you would kind of look for the changes to those files and look at the executables that were in quotation changing those files, and anything that is kind of not, that is editor like Vim, Nano and stuff like that, should be alerted upon. Which is actually a pretty cool use case. 2. Something to to do in the future. So we have this. Let's actually grab that log as a reference. Why I like this than the Auditd exit CVE is because the order of the arguments can be changed, I think. Right? So you would need to account for the change of the order of those A's, right? And if you have a, for example, pseudo, then I would have another argument here at the very beginning with the pseudo. You see? So that's why I kinda, in this case, prefer that log message from this user add. So actually, it doesn't kinda fit to the Auditd, but here we have nothing here. Keyword. That's something we kinda need to use auth. Service. What are the different services in the Linux for Sigma? That's something I want to know. So let's kinda find out, shall we? It's mapping for the so we have Apache, Linux, auth. That's kinda not useful. So in this case, what we can do is kinda grab this. Let's go to encoder and let's create something. I want this as a reference. Now user add is also important here, I guess. I'll put my name 21st. So the product is Linux. And keywords, I think it should be. Okay, let's actually grab the previous one. Because when I want those tags. Yeah, it works. So this kind of shows, so I'm just copying and pasting those. But what I wanted to show you is kind of how to go about creating different detections based on some resources you can look for in the internet that are free. I was thinking about this technique, right, for the persistence. Then you kind of look for whether there is atomic test. This is always a good place to check whether there are some tests that are for it. Then you can kind of check whether there is sigma for it already, and then you can go ahead and create your detection when there is nothing. Then you kind of need to start from the scratch and do some more googling. And what I need here is that contains all, I think. Yeah. So I want this. That is going to be something like that. With the GID of 0. I mean, I think the guide doesn't need to have home of root in this case. You can have different home, I guess. Let's check. I think you need, of course, I need specify the shell, but I think by default it's fine. Yeah, as you can see, I don't have a home. My standard shell is bin bash by default, and I should be able to perform the That's weird. I'm interested in my vsudo file. This is related to root user. This is view group. Yeah, for sure if I add him to the wheel group it will kind of work. I was hoping that the guy is it's root group. That's interesting. Really thinking that this is related to the Red Hat. Maybe I need to. Oh. It's related to. I'm interested in this command actually. Yeah. So I'm just doing some tests. Okay. So in this case, in the case of the user John, I also you see I added him with the UID of 0, and I think that's related kinda to this line. You see? Allow root to run on a command anywhere. So So, but this isn't the Red Hat. Let me actually check on my Manjaro. It's also using root for the user and wheel and the sudo. I'm interested now in Ubuntu. But I would need to spin up the Ubuntu machine. Well, you can kinda, add something like that. And then we can go to Butter 2. That's really... Huh. Do I need to reboot in this case? Let's try it. Kinda not worried about messing up this machine. That's weird. Oh yeah, of course. Great. I made a mistake. And now it's kinda going to work. Yeah. So I'm interested in the wheel group actually more. And whether user is added as a kind of root with the root ID, as we saw. Well, the root group is fine too, whether you have this implemented. Yeah, okay. So you are more interested in this John command, right? So let's check. Not messages. But secure. Yeah. That would be the second case in So you should always be interested when the second one is being performed, whether you have UID of 0. This GID 0 is, as you saw, doesn't kind of work for me. Because when you add the user to the root group, it doesn't kind of do anything. On the Red Hat. On this Red Hat, it doesn't do anything. However, I can spin up quickly the... not really. Don't have memory left. But with this, we can go and do something. And I think Will is always ID 10. Conventions, reserved ranges. Many Linux systems reserve the GID number 0 to 99 for statically allocated groups. And it is defined in here. For the users. So really you are interested in 3 cases then. You have this look and the GID 0. GID is 0 and the GID is 10. That's my... That's what I think. You could kind of test one more time. But adding Butter3 group 10. Yeah. But really you are interested in anything that you have defined as a high privileged group in your environment. This is default Red Hat configuration. We have root user, wheel group. I think that on different distributions you have also sudo group. Or ADM group. But I think ADM doesn't give you like privileges to run command as a root. So let me grab was interested in this. So that would be the third case. Create a new user. Okay. Root UID and GID. So this is wrong. Because you kinda need this OU parameter in here as well. Right? Root UID and GID. So you want this situation when we executed the command with the OU, right? But really you're interested in those. I think the wheel group and the root group. This is Red Hat, right? And to be honest, we will kinda want to create, to do some testing on the Ubuntu. And that's something should do in the future maybe, or let me see whether I have. Okay, let me stop the Ubuntu machine. Okay. And let me run this one. But it's not kinda. It's not good. Okay. Let's try it. So I'm booting up some Ubuntu machine on my server. Okay. Okay. Cisco SSH. I think it's closed here. No time to kind of solve this, right? Yeah, maybe that was a wrong IP. Oh, it was fine. Yeah. Okay. I'm choosing a different machine. Give me a second, guys. Okay, it's booting up. Let me learn what IP address is that. All right. Okay. Yeah. Teraz can kind of trust me on this. But I think this Ubuntu has of course you have root user that is kind of specified here. You have an admin group and you have a sudo group. So we can cut groups and grep for admin. Yeah, but I'm not sure whether this is always the case. 27 and 113. Linux sudo group 27. Linux group ID. Pre-configured system groups. So we have a wheel, we know about it. Thinking about this ADM. Of course we have a root group. It appears that this is like this Ubuntu thing, that you have sudo with gid 27. So that's something we can kind of add here. ADM group is 4. And the admin is 113. Yeah, the sudo group is cool to have in here, for sure. Yeah. So what we have kind of learned today, in case of group creation, not group creation, user creation, whenever you have a detection looking for the specific case, in this example we have user added as a kind of root user, let's call it. Auditd is it's not a good choice here. Because you do not have such information in the Auditd logs, maybe only this exe CV, which I don't like because of the order implication that could happen here. We can utilize those let's call them normal system logs from the user add daemon process, which is kind of following this simple format that I like. And that would be for the product Linux keyword. Okay, we don't want this. We kinda need looking for some examples. See that there is a keywords. So I'm looking for the keywords. Suspicious comments. Keyword. All of keyword. Tool filter. So I kind of would like something like that. What do you don't like? In this case, we kind of specify the rest of them, right? Okay. Really interested. Why do you don't want to go? You guys see issue here? Someone has provided me here with the chain reactor open source tool for testing detection and response. That looks very cool. I would take a look at this. This looks very cool. Thank you. Why it doesn't work, I don't know. Do I have an issue here somewhere? The other test. Maybe my formatting is bad. No, it was fine. That is fucked up. Well, the formatting is good, so I'm not sure. So it doesn't like the keywords. Something like that. Kind of prefer to have it in this order. Doesn't matter I just prefer it that way. And that is kind of going to work, right? So it's covering creation of account. Also, I think account manipulation. I want to create a good documentation here. Okay, so maybe with comments. I will put it also this. Why? Because well, this is kind of pseudo logic. When you follow kind of some simple approach to parsing the events, you would kind of want to parse the syslog events from the Linux, extracting the syslog header separately and the syslog message separately, and I would expect that the program that created the message, in this case user add, is separately extracted. So by following my logic, in the end you would have in your sim, of course. Something like this. I don't need those here. Right, and then we can also have this PID, which is optional. Let's put this in a numeric value, and then you have this syslog message. Right, this would be the basic parsing you would perform on this log. However, as this kind of follows this structure, you could add additional fields based on those key value pairs. However, Sigma is kind of, not trying to enforce you to some kind of parsing, and this parsing is very custom, as I showed you. So this is just an idea, right? And I'm just explaining the reasoning behind this user. Right, because then you would kind of, in your sim, you would say that give me everything that has user add and syslog message as new user, and, or I guess contains whatever is your sim using, whatever syntax, and GID equals 0 and stuff like that. Whenever you extract this or not, right? If you do not extract it, then you would need to specify those, right? So it would kind of look like this in the end. And then you specify all those different GIDs. Yeah, but it is cool finding that this actually is not, it should be corrected because the UID is not being set in this command. Only the GID. Now that would be it actually. So yeah, that is kind of lengthy stream. But good, some stuff let's kind of fix the ordering in here too. Yeah, something like that. So we have GID of root group, UID of the root ID. Then we have wheel group and the sudo group. That's cool. Okay, let's finish on that because I don't want to push the stream for any longer because it's not that cool to watch long streams. Thank you again for this chain reactor project. So I will show you guys here. So the person on chat, GGT Octavianto, sorry, I'm not able to pronounce your name right way, highlighted this project that is open source tool for testing detection and response coverage on Linux machines. I would kind of need to learn more how this works. Perhaps we can do it on stream. That's related to Atomic Red Team, I guess. So perhaps he utilizes those. Would need to go deeper into the getting started. You put a name, you specify the XSCV to be executed. So you put all the command arguments. Then you have a copy. Okay, I will go through it. So yeah, thanks guys for watching, and I guess I will see you next time in the near future, right? Cheers and thanks for watching.